Good morning, guys. Grade 8. Today, inshallah, we're going to continue what we started yesterday. Yesterday, we started to talk about lesson 2 of chapter 3 about the cell organization or levels of organization. And we keep talking about the difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. And then we said that the difference between unicellular organism and multicellular organism. And we said in multicellular organism, we stopped at this screen once we said we start by one cell, which is the fertilized egg. As we explained yesterday, this fertilized egg is produced due to the fertilization or the joint between the sperm, which represent the male sex cell, and the egg, which represent the female sex cell, and they produce this fertilized egg or the zygote, which consider the first step of the new baby, okay, or the fetus. Okay, so here let's find what would happen later, guys. So just we said that this fertilized egg is going to go through many divisions. So here that the egg cell and that the sperm cell, once they join together, they're gonna produce the zygote or the fertilized egg. This fertilized egg will divide, producing a pool of many cells. Then each group of cells will start to specialize to be a certain organ to carry out a certain function. So we're gonna find some of these cells will turn to be nerve cells that will form the nervous system, and some of them will be red blood cells. Some of them will be bone cells that represent your skeleton, and some of them will be muscles that will help you in movement and something like this. So they are the four main categories or the four main tissues that already found inside your body: the nervous tissue, connective tissue, and supportive tissue, and the muscular tissue. So here like this, they kind of tissues that help you, or that's which represent the different functions that you need to survive. Here we said that we have certain types of cells that found, we call them stem cells. What are stem cells? Actually, during embryo development, embryo means the baby while it's still inside the mother's uterus and developing. So this embryo contains some of cells, we call them stem cells, unspecialized cells. They are cells that has ability to divide in high rate and still not specialized to do a certain function. So this cell is not specialized or differentiated yet, which means this cell has all the potential to could be any type of cell. That's which make it very, very important. And nowadays we have a lot of researches in this field about using stem cells in the medicine field. The idea is that based on if I could get this stem cell and I incubate it and keep it, okay, for a long time under certain conditions, then once a patient suffer from damage of certain organ, I could put this stem cells in that organ, and this stem cells, once it's added in this organ, they are gonna change or they are gonna specialize to form new cells of the same organ. For example, someone suffer from damaged liver, okay, so this one patient will die after time. So we could save him if we could implement or we could put some stem cells in his liver, and this stem cells will divide producing new liver cells. So like this, we like renew his liver or something like that. So the stem cells, they are cells that are not specialized. That means they have all the instructions in their DNA that enable it to be whatever any kind of other cells. Plant cells also have unspecialized cells, which is like stem cells, which is already found in animals, okay, so we call them the meristem cells. These meristem cells, we could find them in certain locations in the plants. We could find at the tip of the stem, or at at the top of the stem, or at the tip of the root, which ensure the continued growth, the vertical growth of the stem upward and the vertical growth of the root downward, okay. So once we maximize it, we find that how the stem cells or the meristem cells are look like in the plant. These cells also still unspecialized. As time passes, it keep dividing, adding new different cells in the plant. So it add making new leaves, even fruits, branches, whatever. Okay, and the root also here, these cells keep dividing, which make it the root go deeper and deeper in the soil, and also help forming many root hairs and something like that. So here, let's pass two different levels of organization, which you already know it before and you studied before. We said this level of organization, we know that each group of cells, that of course we talk about in multicellular living organism, each group of similar cells, they work together to carry out certain function or making a specific task. We call them tissue. Okay, and then we find different tissues, okay, they can work together to make organs, and different organs work together to make a system, and so on. So here we said that human, like most other animals, have four main types of tissues. That mean your body is actually made of four main types of tissue: the muscular tissue, connective tissue, nervous tissue, and the epithelial tissue. So muscle or muscular tissue, that the tissue, that different muscles inside your body, different types of muscles which allow your movement, okay, and allow the movement of the digestive system, the pumping of the heart, and like this, all different muscles that found inside your body. Connective tissue, it's named connective, which means that's the tissue which connect different parts together, like the blood, the bones, which already carry or connect the different parts of your body. Nervous tissue, that's the nerve, the nervous cells, okay, or the tissue which build your brain, spinal cord, and different nerves that run in through your body. And finally, epithelial tissue, that the tissue which covers and line all your organs. That means skin is epithelial tissue, the internal organs which are already lined and covered by epithelial tissue. So the three main types of plant tissues. That mean plants also have tissues. Yes, plant also, because it's multicellular organism, so it have a specialized cell that are going to be gathered together to form different tissues to perform different functions. So we have dermal tissue, that's which equal the epithelial tissue in human. That means the tissue which already covered the outer part of different parts of plant. That means the outer layer of the leaves, the outer layer of stem, the outer layer of root. We call them dermal tissue. Vascular tissue, that's which look like the blood vessels in human. Okay, the vascular tissue, xylem and phloem, which already carry different materials and nutrients inside the plant. And ground tissue, that fill the most space of the plant. Okay, that's mean that tissue that could fill the different spaces between the different cells inside the plant. Then we said that different tissues, they could work together, okay, to form something called organ. They carry different functions, okay, or carry specific function, which of course higher or more developed, that mean more complicated function than the tissue carries. So like for example, organ like your stomach. Actually, your stomach is made of different tissue. It's covered and lined by epithelial tissue. It is made of muscular tissue, and it have some nerve cells inside it. So it's a combination of three different types of tissues that form this organ, which is the stomach. So each part of this tissue carries certain function, but overall the three work together to make one complicated function, which is digesting food. Okay. So here we find different organs, for example, stomach, esophagus, small intestine, large intestine. All these are different organs. Everyone has different function, but all of them, they work together to make a higher or greater task. Well, for example, every part of these, they work to digest a certain type of food, but overall the digestive system work to digest all kinds of food, and in the same time ensure to pass this digested food to the bloodstream to reach each cell. The same here, like in respiratory system, made of lungs, trachea, nose, okay, larynx. All these, they work together also to ensure the function of respiration, inhaling and exhaling air, which ensure that body get the sufficient amount of oxygen needed to do the cellular respiration process. So here like this, we could find, or simply we can say, group of cells make tissue, and group of tissues or different tissues together make organ, different organs make organ system. And inside your body you have different organ systems or different systems together. They work to make a complete body or organism that could perform all the biological processes needed to ensure to continue its life. So here we said that multicellular organisms usually have many organ systems that work together to carry out all the jobs needed to survive of this organism. So you have digestive system, respiratory system, circulatory system, nervous system, reproductive system, urinary system, so all locomotory systems. So you have a lot of systems that work together to ensure that you are able to do different biological function which is necessary for your life. So as you can see here, that's an organ, that's you. You have a respiratory system that ensure the process of respiration, providing your blood with the needed oxygen and get rid of carbon dioxide and water vapor. Nervous system, which is response to receive stimulus from the surrounding environment and send response. That means how you interact with the surrounding environment. Digestive system was necessary to digest food and pass food to your bloodstream. Muscular system would help in movement beside the skeleton. And circulatory system, which is already rotate or passing or circulate the different nutrients, oxygen inside your body to all body cells. So here we find the integration between all these type of cells, okay, that make cell. Like this here, guys, we finished our lesson, okay? So here, that's the summary for our lesson, or quick summary for our lesson. We said that unicellular organisms carried out all activities, that just one cell that able to do all things. cell becomes specialized. And what mean that one cell, okay, in the multicellular organism will specialize and differentiate to perform or to form different kind of tissues that carry out different functions. Organs are a group of different tissue that work together to perform a job. And here, let's find some questions to try to answer. What is the process by which cell becomes specialized? What kind of this process, the cell specialization, or we call cell differentiation? Okay. Then here, guys, what are the unspecialized animal cell capable of dividing into many different cell types? That means the cell which still have the ability to divide and is not specialized in certain work. We call them stem cells. Okay, so someone could say mere stem cells. He said in animals. Animals we call it stem cells, while in plants we call them mere stem cells. What is the term or for a group of different organs that work together? Different organs work together. So of course it's an organ system, guys. So that's the end of our lesson. Please study it well from your textbook, and if you have any question, you are welcome to ask anytime. Thank you, guys. Goodbye.